The Dead Pair Podcast is brought to you by Kolar Arms, America's competition shotgun, and is fueled by Fiocchi.
Welcome to the Dead Pair Podcast, coming in hot with everything you want to hear about sporting clays. With your hosts, Jason Rambo.
This is what I have to work with, everyone.
And Sean Alley.
Like I said, I was just thirsty.
Oh, boy.
Often imitated, but never duplicated. It's the Dead Pair Podcast. It's showtime.
Welcome back, everyone. What's up there, Mr. Large and in charge?
Well, I know you got to rub it in my face, Jason, but I woke up this morning with 6 inches of snow on the ground and about 28 degrees. So go ahead and tell me how warm and sandy beaches and blue water and sunny skies you got going down there in Florida.
The only thing I was going to say is right before the show, I had to turn the air conditioner on. But anyway,
okay.
Moving on
All
from
right,
that.
then.
So
Moving
I'm
on.
going to guess, that you're not out training and practicing in this winter season here.
No, it got cold up here in a hurry. I mean, usually our temps are, I was just watching the news this morning, we're supposed to be in like the mid to high 40s. And, last week it turned cold real quick and after Thanksgiving. And it just ain't cooperating right now, buddy. It's cold up here.
Yeah, well, I get it. I mean, I lived there for 50 some years. I totally understand. But, hey, don't take snow for an answer, Sean. There's ways you can get out there. I know a couple of the clubs in Ohio have heated 5 stands. Get out there and practice, man.
Yes, there are. And I will definitely be taking advantage of those. But for right now, I couldn't even get out of my driveway this morning. So got to do the priorities first, buddy.
Well, hey, Port Columbus keeps their runways clean. So get your butt on a plane, get out of there if you have to.
Yeah, might have to do that.
Hey, Sean, we do have attorney talk to get to.
Yes, we do.
It's Tourney Talk. Brought to you by Score Chaser.
All right, guys, this one came to us late. The Caribbean Sporting Clays Cup of Puerto Rico, located in Carolina, Puerto Rico, will be held January 9th through the 11th in 2026. They're boasting a $35,000 plus purse. Discounts are available for local hotels and car rentals as well. Also close to the beach, you can find all the details on Score Chaser. Also, the Indiana State at the Sporting Club at the Farm, yes, is now open for registration. That tournament will be held next August 6th through the 9th, again, 2026. Make sure you get your dates in there, get them locked in early. You know how quick these things sell out.
And I saw on that one that Brandon Powell's going to be setting targets along with Joe Skulls, so make sure you take your full chokes.
Yeah, could be particularly nasty.
Yeah. Well, it just depends on, if Joe puts the lasso on old Brandon or not. But no, that ought to be a good shoot. I'm going to try and get up there for that one.
Yeah,
because that's going to be the week after Ohio State. So that ought to be a good, make a little journey northbound and kind of hit that one on the way home.
Yes, sir.
That'd be fun. We need to plan on that, Sean. We need to hook up and shoot both of those.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the farm the last time I was up there. I think it was 2 years ago, maybe it was 3 years ago. Really nice. There's a Caesars right down the road, literally like not even 2 miles down the road that you can stay and literally, after the shoot, you may go throw a little money on the craps table or, whatever your poison is, you can do that as well. So shooting, gambling, drinking, it's all part of the fun.
Well, you just blew my cover. The wife's going to hear this because obviously she edits this.
We're having an Amish VRBO. It's an Amish VRBO. They make homemade biscuits and pie.
No, she's actually going with me to Ohio State next year. So,
oh, cool.
Her and the daughter, we're going to go up. She's got some grandkids she wants to see, and we'll make a trip of it. We're going to drive up. So I'm sure stopping at the farm and letting her play at the casino while I'm out shooting is not going to be a hard sale.
No.
So we'll look into that one. Yeah.
You're good there.
But as far as the podcast goes for the year, looking back, Sean, we've had some hits and misses. I think we learned a lot this year. Again, I know you're going to be hit or miss starting the first of the year. You're really busy with work and everything, and I understand that. But moving forward with the podcast, we tend to learn a lot. I mean, we're 6 years in now, right? So we've tend to learn a lot, and we listen to everybody's feedback. It's funny because, okay, I hate to pick on the guy. You take David Radulovich, for example. We didn't have him on this year. I went back and looked. I was like, wow, we really haven't had him on in 12 months. Half the emails we get are like, this guy, he loses me, and then we get more emails saying we want to hear David. So we kind of have to have that balance, and we listen to everybody's email that writes us, don't we, Sean?
Yeah, well, and to add to that, Jason, it's hard. I mean, we've had so many great shooters, coaches, clubs, managers. I mean, we talk to all kinds of different people, and there's only so many episodes we put out a year. I mean, we cram a lot into a year. You and I both know that, but it happens. I mean, months go by and you don't talk to somebody, and it's like, oh shoot, we need to call so and so, or we need to reach out to so and so and see if they want to come on. And then also, it's their schedules and our schedules. It's always, like I keep saying, it's like herding cats, trying to get everybody to play along and make sure that everybody can get there on time, the same day, same time, and enough about that. But it's a challenge, and it's always nice to kind of sometimes go back to somebody that we haven't had on for a year or two and revisit and catch up with them and see what's new in their neck of the woods.
Well, and that's well said. So we're going to have a 2-part questions for the coaches coming out. I know I've talked about it in the last few episodes, but it's hard. I mean, we're looking at 6 different coaches. 3 of them will be on each show handling 2 questions. So that's a lot, right? That's a lot of scheduling, and it's a lot to put together. But there's also some cool stuff I'm going to venture into next year. I'm going to spend a little bit more time doing some product reviews. I've got, a couple of people, new sponsor potentials that have sent me some products that want me to check out. And I thought, why not just throw it on video? I mean, we're not big YouTubers like some of the other people are, but these products, it's kind of hard to see them on an audio podcast, right? So I'm going to try a little bit of that kind of stuff to add to what we're already doing. Yeah. But we're going to keep trucking next year. I'm going to keep carrying the torch. I know, Sean, like I said, again, you're hit or miss, but we got some co-hosts lined up, and I think we're gonna carry on. As far as shooting performance, this is a good time of year, Sean, to really sit down and take a break for a minute and review your shooting for the year. Now, Sean, I'm going to start calling you hit or miss, because your shooting was just as hit or miss this year as what you're going to be in the podcast next year, because you've had so much going on at home. So It's kind of hard to sit down and look at your performance and dissect anything, because you haven't really had time to train, or, you just kind of bounce from tournament to tournament. But there's got to be some kind of a learning thing there, right? I mean, have you had a chance to do that yet and really look at it and see what you've learned and what were your failures?
Well, actually, the one thing I can take away this year is, I used to be a lot, like last year, I was struggled with a little bit of this as well, but I've tried to bring down my expectations based on what's going on in my life. And the one thing I've taken away from that I really like is that if I try to just focus on having a good time and having fun, seems like my body relaxes a little bit better, and I tend to not take things so seriously. And I actually perform better in most cases when I'm in that kind of a mind frame. So I think, next year, I'm going to try to get out more now that the wife's doing better. And shoot more, keep more in a rhythm. And then at the same time, try to keep in the back of my mind, hey, you do this as a thing that you enjoy. So have fun with it, no matter, how many birds you break or you miss or you don't break. Have fun with it, and then hopefully the chips will fall where they may.
Yeah, and going to kind of steal that from Brandon Powell. He said a quote one time. He said, you got to shoot like it doesn't matter when it matters the most. And that's hard to do. That really is hard to do, especially if you care about your shooting. I mean, it's like, how do I not care if I miss this bird or not? So there's a lot to take away from that. This is also the time of the year you start looking at tournaments you're going to go to next year. I've been a big advocate about shooting a bunch of state shoots next year, and I've already started planning for all that and what my budget's going to look like and what, the trips are going to look like to go to these different state shoots. So this is definitely a time to look. We just had Casey Chase on here a couple episodes ago. We talked about, it's tough because sometimes you got to put out a lot of money in deposits before you even get there. So it's
right.
Now's the time to plan. Definitely training, getting with your coach. I mean, this is a time to brush up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everybody's got that little bit of a downtime around this time of the year, especially before the Florida swing kicks off. I know that you're going to be doing a lot of that, obviously, with you living down there now. I'm not going to be there this year. I got an actual real vacation planned for me and the wife, taking a cruise, getting away. So I won't be doing any of the Florida swing this year. But, like you said, looking forward, this is the time to kind of sit down and assess yourself, analyze yourself. If you can get with a quick coach, maybe, knock some of the rust off, fix a few things that maybe troubled you through the year. It's a great time to take advantage if they're not busy as well and get with them.
Yeah. You mentioned the Florida swing. I believe it or not, I'm probably not going to make it to any of them except for the Jack Links and the Florida Challenge. I'm actually got invited on a big hunt this year, and I'm going on that. Something I've never done before, and I hate missing all these great tournaments that are right here in my backyard, but unfortunately I'm going to have to pass on them.
Right.
It's one of those things, and we're huge advocates for shooting, but this is kind of like you said, a real vacation, right? Like it's a chance for me to do something different, and I'm going to come right back at it as soon as I get home. I'll be down there at Jack Links and then Florida Challenge. And then, right after that's Gator Cup. I mean, the list goes on. The big blasts are happening. So, yeah, I mean, it's tough though, because, Sean, I'm still an advocate of the 6 Ps. We talked about that, right? Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. So, I mean, I
knew you were going to throw that out there. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things, it's all in what you want to put into it. Now, if you're like Sean and you can't put a whole lot into it, just go enjoy yourself. Just go to these tournaments and have fun, and don't have any big expectations. Like Sean said, I completely agree with you, Sean. If you're not going to put a lot into it with training and stuff, don't go there and expect to win something. Just go there and enjoy the experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I've been able to hold my own. I mean, I started off kind of rocky early in the year, but I went back and looked at my numbers. I went back to AA the start of this year from Masterclass, got bumped last year. I've acquired, I think, 9 punches. And the nice thing is my CCFR is like 0.28 something or whatever. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not going to get, downclassed, obviously, but keep working hard. I'm not really sure if I want to get back up into Masterclass, but, I'm going to shoot to the ability that I have and the time that I have, and just kind of have to be happy with that.
Yeah, I'm over here grumbling. I can't wait to the end of the year where I get bumped back down to AA. I'm like counting the days. It's like, come on, Nikki Bauer, tell me I'm back down. So, anyway, hey, listen, speaking of year-end review, Neil Chadwick texted me. He's ready to go. He's got some stats from the Nationals that he wanted to go over. So let's get Neil on the phone and see what he's got. I'm anxious to hear this. So let's see what he's got to say about the Nationals 2025.
Cool.
Oh, by the way, we did a complete video with Ben Huswade on gun fitting. Now, everybody has seen his, social media all over the world doing gun fits. This is a complete gun fit from start to finish. He was down at Quail Creek. I went down there with the camera and I filmed the whole thing. Be looking for that video over Christmas break over on our YouTube channel. I'll post links on social media, but make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, because that video will be out over Christmas break.
Cool. I'll be looking forward to that. All right. Now can we get on to Neil, please?
All right.
The Dead Pair.
All right. Welcome back to the show, Mr. Neil Chadwick. How are you, Neil?
Good. Thanks, Jason. Thanks for having me on again.
Neil, good to have you back, buddy. I hear you're dealing with some of the snow the same way I am.
Yeah. We've got probably about 10 inches now. It's been snowing all day.
Man, it's hard to believe where you're at that you're getting that much snow.
We got a bunch of
Hey, Jason, one thing I just remembered, buddy, I don't mean to interrupt you, but we forgot to mention one thing at our intro.
Oh, yeah.
Remind all of our listeners, I know it's second nature to us, we will not have a podcast the week of Christmas, and we also will not have a podcast the week of New Year. So make sure you guys aren't looking for that, because we're closed for business those 2 weeks.
We're closed for business. As if we got a brick and mortar. Yeah, we won't be here.
We're closed. We're closed. No podcast.
So, Neil, you've got all kind of exciting stuff going on as far as stats go, and I'm anxious to get into this. But you said there's some rule changes too you want to talk about.
Yeah. The national delegates voted on several 18 or so rule changes. Some of them are just sort of cosmetic word changes, things like this first one that I noticed, or that I voted on and discussed. Rabbit targets thrown using a ramp or other device to cause hops or change in direction are no bird if the target misses the ramp or device. We needed to put that in there. to most of us, that's common sense. If it misses the ramp that you're throwing it up against to get it up in the air, then it's a no bird. But anyway, we thought we'd put that in as a rule just to make it sort of straightforward so it's clear with everybody.
Sure.
Okay.
The 5-stand, a number of different rules on 5-stand. We're clamping down a little bit on shooter malfunctions and ammo malfunctions, or rather ammo and gun malfunctions. That always used to be over the 100 targets. It's now over the 25 target presentation.
Really?
The rule reads, allowed one gun or ammunition malfunction per 25 target event. So that's 1 5-stand. Targets not attempted due to a second or greater malfunction are scored as lost targets. So remember that, everybody. It's the field that you're on. If you get a gun malfunction or an ammo malfunction, you're only allowed 1.
Okay.
What else have we got?
Hey, Neil, real quick about that, just to clarify.
Yeah.
What if you have a gun malfunction and an ammo malfunction in the same round? Does that still count? Like, for instance, you shoot a shell and you can see the strike on the primer, but it doesn't go off.
Yep.
And then right after that, couple targets later, the gun malfunctions and say an auto doesn't feed or something.
That's a good question, isn't it? That's a good question. What you're asking is it one ammunition malfunction and one gun malfunction?
Yeah.
Or or are both of those the same thing?
Correct.
That's a good question. And I'm not going to give you an answer because I don't know.
Okay.
That's fair enough.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, I don't want to say something and somebody goes, no.
Well, it's going to be asked.
Yeah. I will pass on that one and bring that up at the BC meeting and say, are we correct on this rule? Does it need to be clarified even more?
Leave it to Sean to give you guys a bunch of work to do.
Yeah.
Hey, at least I'm good for something. Now, come on.
Yeah. We're really clamping down now on, we've had people that walk out of a stand and don't unload their gun before the 5 shooters have finished. And that's rule number 4, or 4 rules, basically B and C. B says shooters may not leave their station until instructed to do so by the referee, or until the last shooter has fired her last shot. So apparently people are doing that. If you're on shooter number 3 and you're in stand 5, you shoot your last pair there and you walk out of the cage before shooter 4 and 5, which would be in 1 and 2, have finished. So now that's calling it penalties for violating rules B and C. First offense, warning. Second offense, loss of 1 target from total score of targets on that field. This is where it gets. Third offense, failure to comply. Shooter is referred to course manager to present to protest committee or shoot management. Penalty for failure to comply may be 1 target for each offense, 0 score for that field of competition, or disqualification. So clamping down on people walking out of the stand before the actual round is finished or before you're moving on to the next stand. So that's good. We're all about safety.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some super sporting rule changes. Subsection J, super sporting, one that I thought should have been in from the word go. Menus may feature singles, report pairs, true pairs, or following pairs. Targets in pairs must be shot as single targets prior to shooting them in pairs. So by default, now you have to shoot all 3 singles because you're not going to shoot 2 singles and then shoot the 2 pairs the same. That you're not going to do it. So you've got to shoot all 3 singles before shooting them in either a report pair, following pair, or a true pair.
So you can't have a BC report if you never got a C single, is what you're saying.
Correct. That's correct.
Okay. Well, so by letter of that law, I've shot super sporting events where there was no singles. And you're telling me that is a complete violation.
as of January 1. You see, we really didn't have a set of rules that told you how to shoot super sporting. So, the rules committee, of which I'm part of, Sammy's chairman, Sammy McFadden, and the rest of the guys, we really went through the rule book and came up against super sporting, where if I read it, the first one says NSCA sporting clays rules apply when shooting super sporting. Well, super sporting is really a little bit of a different game than sporting clays, in as much as you shoot singles and pairs. So we wanted to clarify that for everybody and sort of start to put down a firm set of rules, because as we get further along, we'll at some stage, and I think where is it going to be? Brett Seibert at Northbrook, and I think I'm correct in saying, will be throwing the first World Super Sporting Championship.
Really?
Yeah.
When is that, or has he determined that yet?
Pass. I think it's gonna be. Is it next year or the year after? I think it's next year. It'll come out in the news anyway. It'll be in Target Talk or something like that.
Okay. Cool. That's very cool, though. We've never had that. That's awesome.
No. And of course, the CPSA now over in the UK have really taken up super sporting and have really recognized it as a separate discipline to itself, apart from English sporting. So they will have their championships, maybe a British Open or an English Open super sporting. So it only follows that we'll have a world championship super sporting at some stage.
Yeah, no, that's very cool. I love super sporting, so that's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, as we're trying to update the rule book and keep it current, and of course, we're always listening to what the members are saying. So what we can include to make things clearer for our sport always helps.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like I said, Sean gave you guys more to do.
Yeah.
So
I'm here to help.
Right.
I'm here to help.
So was that all you had on the rules, Neil?
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to nationals, and I'm excited to hear these numbers. Let's start with this. Do you have the final attendance number for nationals, both overall and just for like Maine? Or how do you guys look at that?
Well, if you look on Score Chaser, the number in the main is always a little bit lower than actually shot it, because we had 179. How can I put it? People from other countries that don't qualify to shoot for the nationals. They can't be the national champion because they're not U.S. citizens, of course.
They can shoot the event, but they're not eligible for titles and stuff.
Yeah. So 179 added to that total on Score Chaser takes us over 2,200 for the main event.
For the main event?
Nice. Yeah.
That's not total entries. That's just main event.
Total entries were a tad under 2,600.
Wow. So is that up across the board from last year?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very
yeah.
cool.
And it's really amazing the number of people from other countries that come in to shoot it. Jason from Australia, there was 19 people from Australia, and I listened to your podcast with Jason, and how many targets did they shoot while they were here? 10,000 something?
Over 8,000 apiece.
Yeah,
and that was just registered targets. That wasn't. Right. My goodness.
Yeah, and I think that's amazing that they come over. And I think that when they go back, because I talked to my guy over there, Dean Crouch from Top Shot, and they're in the midst of, how can I put it diplomatically, making some changes. I'm guessing I'm saying. So I think that when those guys come over here and see what we're doing and how we do it, they go back there and go, we want to do this. And they're going to put on, Jason and his friend, I forget his friend's name, are putting on a national championship of Australia next year. And he mentioned that on your podcast, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
And that's great, And I met a super couple from New Zealand. They just had a blast. Maria and Tez was his name. big guy. I just wouldn't want to argue with him. But I mean, they just loved it. They were doing everything, shot everything, bought all sorts of stuff to take back with them. It's just great. It's just great, really is.
Yeah. No, I was, you can ask Sean, I mean, both before and after the recording, we kept talking to Jason. He was just so much fun to talk to. And to see the excitement and the enthusiasm that those guys have when they come over here, it's like kids in a toy store. I mean, they want to shoot more and more and more. And that, I mean, how cool, right? Like we, not to beat a dead horse, but we kind of take advantage or take for granted our laws here in this country. And we don't get as excited about shooting as they do because they don't get to do it as often as we do. We can go shoot every day, every weekend if we wanted to. They can't do that over there. So it was really cool to see that kind of enthusiasm for shooting here in the States. So
and according to Dean over in Australia, there's even more going to come for next Nationals, which, by the way, current entries are at 2,241.
Wow. Already.
Wow. And we're only at the 2nd of December.
Already. Jeez. That's incredible.
Crazy.
So, okay, looking at your stat numbers, what about first-time attendees? Was that number up, or do you even have that total number?
That was just under, and it just blows me away, just under 500.
Really?
Yes.
That is so cool. Love it. Love hearing that. Now, you teased me a little bit on the phone that you had some target difficulty compared to other events in the United States. You want to elaborate?
Yeah, I have all the stats on my benchmark, and Rick Hemingway will get a kick out of this. My benchmark is the 22 US Open at practice.
That's your benchmark? Wow.
Yeah,
you
that's
set the bar high.
That's the US Open that won't die.
So I have all the stats going from the US Open backwards, the US Open in 23 at Coyote, the US Open in 24 at Northbrook, the World English at M&M last year. I have all the stats for the 24 regionals. And of course, I have all the stats for all the regionals this year, plus the nationals and the US Open at Providence.
Okay.
This year was a little bit, how can I say, difficult, because this year is the first year that we've had the pro squad separated from masterclass. Now, in prior years, of course, masterclass obviously included the pro squad.
Okay.
So I decided to come up with a number that is in maths terms, it's called a normal distribution in maths terms. And basically, you take everybody in the whole competition and find out what their average score was.
Okay.
So, and I've also done some others. I've added, so that we can compare the pro squad with master, I added them together so that we can compare what last year's masterclass did against this year's pro squad and master combined, because I've got nothing to compare last year's pro squad to, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So after all the bitching and whining, right, and people saying that this year's Nationals was a lot harder than last year's, it was exactly the same.
Really? The percentages were the same?
The number?
Yep. It was within. Last year's Nationals had an overall number. Now, this is an overall number of 65.3%. Okay. Probably doesn't mean a lot, but bear in mind that is every entry and their score. This year's percentage was 65.2. Now, bear in mind, I just said 65.3. So we were 0.1%
harder,
more difficult, which adds up to 0.2 of a target more difficult.
Now, this is specifically the main event.
Just the main.
Okay.
It takes a lot of work to put all this together. So I just do the main event and compare that to the regionals.
Okay, so we are at 65.2 this year, you said?
Yep.
So what does that compare to the regionals, the US Open and all that stuff this year?
And you won't believe this either.
Okay.
The Nationals was easier than all the regionals this year.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. The closest that came to it was Weston out at Nick Berry's place. His overall average was 64.6. So he was behind our 65.2. The hardest national using this stat was Covey Rise.
The hardest regional, you mean?
The Covey Rise regional.
Okay.
And their number was 60.3. So over 200 targets, Covey Rise was 10 targets harder than the Nationals.
Wow.
And I put that down to the blue course, really.
Yeah, that was a tough,
at the Nationals, and it's unfortunate, but when you get, and Joseph is a great guy, and a great shot, by the way. And he set blue, and when you get a young target setter, sometimes, not every time, they tend to set targets. They tend to set the targets they like to shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've seen that, happen before. So him being a very good shot, he wanted some good targets, and they got good targets.
Yeah. So, okay, this is you've got me. I got this itch in my brain I need to scratch here. You said you set the benchmark as the 2022 US Open. What was that average compared to Nationals?
Okay. So our Nationals was 65. The backwards 22 US Open was 55.
Yeah.
It was only 10 targets harder?
Over 200 is 20 targets harder.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Rick's was 10 targets harder than our Nationals this year. 20 targets harder, 20.
Doesn't seem that bad, does it? I mean, either we've gotten way better or, you just got better people there. I don't know. It's one of the two. But, and listen, no disrespect to Rick. I think he really set, that shoot's been talked about so much in the last 4 years now. He really did set a benchmark on that shoot. But to hear that we're only 10 targets average off, or you could say 20, 200 versus 300, I thought the gap would be way bigger. I really did.
But here's the kicker. Okay. Using this methodology now that I'm using, because remember, we've lost E-class. E-class is merged into D-class. We've got the Pro class now that's got 40, 50, 60 people that qualify for that.
Right.
So I'm very disappointed to say that Rick has lost the crown as the hardest tournament.
What's the hardest tournament now?
It was the US Open in 24 at Northbrook.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. His overall score was 52.1%. So he was six targets harder than Rick's tournament.
Wow. It's amazing when you look at averages like that,
Yeah. It took me I kept going, this can't be right. And I worked the numbers. So last year, and this is just how these numbers turn out. Last year at Nationals, of course, we did not have Pro class. So I took Master class and looked at their percentage overall, and just Master class last year, their percentage was 79.9. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Master class last year. Adding Master class and Pro class this year, their overall percentage was 80.
Didn't go up that much.
79.9 to 80, it's the same number.
Same thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So, and you can look at these numbers any way you want. If I look at the regional, and I look at the Pro class, so The pro class, in actual fact, found backwards regional the hardest to shoot. They found that and again, this is going back to the rest of the Western Regional at Rock Creek, the pro class found that the easiest. And the spread there was 14 targets between backwards and next place, just on the pro class.
Wow. That's incredible. It's going to take me a minute to digest all that. Well, you know what this means, Sean? If you and I could pick up about 15 to 20 targets per course at the Nationals, we're going to be right in the mix.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Oh, geez. Holy cow. So let me ask you this, Neil. As far as Nationals as a whole goes, bad news first. What went wrong? In other words, what did you see that we got to change this for next year? We got to fix this or whatever. Was there anything that went wrong at Nationals that you would like to change?
There's some things that I would like to change, and a lot of those changes are being put in place. Did anything go wrong? The lightning on Saturday morning.
Yeah, well, you can't prevent that.
Yeah,
that's.
I mean,
not much you
I
can do about
delayed
that.
the start by 15 minutes because of that overcast sky from the storm that had gone through just earlier. So I was due to kick everybody off at 8:15. At 10 past 8, of course, the phone goes, cease shooting. You know, we've got that app that ties up all the local weather stations, and they pinpoint where the lightning was. And if it's within 6 miles, we get it and we have to wait 20 minutes. So that put 20-minute delay on there. And what was it, about 10 past 9, I'm guessing? There was another lightning strike within 6 miles. So we stopped again for about 20 minutes. Put a 45-minute delay on everything. But apart from that, everything ran really smooth. You know, I might have been a few minutes late starting one of the K-Cups, but it was less than 5 minutes. So from my perspective, everything ran really smooth.
So the next question I have here is what went right? Now, obviously a lot of things went right, but more specifically in the changes that were made for this year's Nationals, what do you think was an absolute success? Like what went right as far as that's concerned?
Well,
because I know you implemented a lot of changes. So was one of them, do you think it was a victory or?
I think the Nationals overall was a complete success. I would put it on a par with last year's, which I think last year was by far the best. But if I look at scores, you know, okay, did we mess up 5-stand? Did we mess it up? No, we didn't mess it up. It was just harder.
Yeah.
Okay. It was master class, pro class, master, pro class, and AA, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was the
you know, were the scores lower? But believe it or not, I had so many people from master class, pro class go up and said, hey, you know, those targets were really good. There was nothing that you couldn't get a second shot off at in pairs there. The second target was not in the ground. You just really had to concentrate. Conversely to that, in my opinion, now these are my opinions, the sub-gauge course was way too easy.
Okay.
You know, the 2028 and 410. Corey Howe did a great job setting them. And when we looked at them, I could see that they were easy. Of course, the negative of having an easy course is all the shoot-offs at the end of the tournament. And there were a lot of shoot-offs on the sub-gauge course, you know. So that was too easy. So still going back to your question, you know, I mean, I think it was a great event overall. I think people enjoyed themselves. The evening entertainments, people love that. And I know Johnny Carter loves it. I mean, he just, you know, I'll tell you a story about Johnny Carter. So on the Wednesday, you know, I have to take him around, and he's like a baby. He really is. He just like a kid in a candy store, you know. So he shoots all the main. So we start off on yellow, and we're discussing the targets and how difficult, how easy. We get to station 10, on the green course. Okay, so that's the one up on the platform with a fairly straightforward single bird to get your ticket, and then 2 really nasty edge-on crosses, one from the left, one from the right. He proceeds to run it.
Really?
Yeah. Now he's got a borrowed gun. He hasn't shot that gun before, apart from around the green course, because every course he has to go and get a different gun. So I guess they're responses and stuff like that, and some of them don't fit him. And yeah, but he got to station 10. I went, oh, okay. He didn't make that look very hard, but I knew it was. Of course, and station 10 caught a lot of people out. So overall, a really great shoot. I'm so glad that people had a great time, and of course, congratulations to Mike, Shelby, and the rest of the winners. If people have got any comments about it, I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah. Well, probably the most important question of all, what did you think of Jason's tower?
Jason's tower, I tell you, that was pretty neat. We had 2 of them because he got them down there and we put them up, and we had one up on Vendors Row just for people to shoot. And I think that station got the most target refills out of the whole lot because people just love shooting it. The one we had on Subgauge on that first skeet field on the north side, flawless. I mean, people like that. It just gave us a little bit of different angle and target line on a target coming from 20 foot above your head or 20 foot high, and the angle that it was on. I thought it was great. I did really.
So, Neil, looking at Nationals next year, and I know you guys have already started to make plans already. Is there any changes coming for next year that people can be looking for?
Well, I always look to try and change stuff, and we've discussed this 100 times before. It's difficult to move the tournaments around the individual competitions, because the main events have 10 stations each. Super Sporting has 13. K-Cup has 13. FITAS has 12 stations. So, yes, I swap Super Sporting and FITAS alternate between the dozen and what we call 471, which is the road along the main road there, But apart from that, there will not be any major changes as to where the individual tournaments are held. I go down to Texas in January for the EC meeting in January. I'm going to stay a couple of days, and we've got now Jake Neely down there as the facilities manager.
Mm-hmm.
And he's anxious to make some changes. So I'm going to go down there and we're going to look to see what needs to be trimmed up, where we can relocate stands, where we need to put stone down so that it's not dirt underfoot, what trees we need to take down. Can we make areas more open? And give him a sort of a wish list, if you like. I mean, I know they're not going to cut down all the trees I want. I know that.
Yeah.
But so we can get something done in time for World English.
Hey, speaking of World English, you had an announcement about that. I don't know what it was, but you said you had something you wanted to tell everybody.
Okay, so this is going to be open to all juniors for the World English. No matter, they don't have to be from the US. It's World English. So anybody that's coming, I'm going to put a $500 credit against an entry for a junior. So it will pay for their main entry plus perhaps part of a side event, but it'll be $500 that when we decide on the winner, they will get a $500 credit towards their entry fee for World English. So
wow.
It's going to be up to you two. How do we do it? Do we put, do we get people to email names in, or if somebody's got somebody that's particularly deserving and it will help them out or help their parents out, getting them to the shoot? $500 is $500. You know, we used to say $20 was $20, but $500 is $500.
Well, it is 2025 here, Neil. So, yeah, inflation. Yes. Wow, Sean. How do you want to do this? Contest. We got to have.
How many potential shooters are we talking about, Neil? I mean, ballpark idea. Do you know
how many shooters?
The juniors. You know how many juniors would potentially be in that? I'm just trying to think of how many. I'm trying to come up with an idea that is gonna,
Well, when you open it up like that and you say you're going to give a $500 credit, you potentially have a lot more people interested than what was planning on being there.
Yeah. I mean, you could write everybody's name on a shotgun shell, Jason, and pull one out of the hat. I mean, you can do it that way randomly, or if you want to do it something like Neil said, like do it to a person that's deserving or in need or something like that, then I'm not sure the best way to go about that. I mean, you'd have to have people write in like, an essay or a letter or something, and then we'd have to choose, which I would think that would become increasingly difficult. It's to kind of make that fair.
Well, Neil, I tell you what, we're going to think about this.
Yeah.
And we'll make an announcement by the end of the podcast.
Okay.
How we're going to do it. And then I'll transfer the winner's name and information to you, and you can take it from there. How's that?
Okay. And like I said, I'd like it because it's the World English. I'd like to open it up to any juniors that are coming in, maybe, from anywhere. Any junior, just so that we can promote the sport and maybe help them out a little bit with some cost, or maybe they can enter another event apart from the main event. But somebody that's deserving and will be appreciative of it.
Okay, all right, we'll do that. We'll come up with a fair contest for everybody. No advantages or anything like that. And when we get the winner's name, we'll send his or her information to you, and then you take it from there.
Yeah, and maybe I don't know, maybe if we get enough, we can put the names in a hat and draw a name. If somebody comes up with a reason why this particular person should get it, and it's it tugs at my heartstrings, I might just give it to that person. So let's do it, see how it goes. If it's a success and people don't abuse it, I'll do the same thing for nationals next year. I'll put $500 up as a credit for an entry to nationals, again for a junior.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Thank you, Neil. We appreciate you doing that. That's very nice of you. We appreciate that.
Yeah, good.
And I want to extend another thank you. I know Long Range is joining us again for 2026 at the Dead Pair Podcast. Thank you. A very heartfelt thank you. We appreciate that. Appreciate your support. We love working with you, love having you on the show, and of course, love Long Range products. So thank you, Neil. We appreciate that very much.
Well, appreciate what you two do as well. I mean, it's all about getting, like you say, every week or every time I listen to you, because I don't listen to you every week, you get a bit boring now and again.
Really, Neil? Really?
But like you say, at the end of every podcast, take somebody shooting.
Yeah,
right.
And that's, that's kind of like why I reached out to NSSF is we want to kind of extend our message a little bit, and we're partnering with them on the +1 program. So we've got some people that regularly take new people shooting, and this is a way to incentivize them, through that +1 program. Now they're going to get something for doing it instead of just a thank you or a thumbs up. Now we can do something more for them. So I just think it's really cool, the program that they put together, and I thought it was a good fit for us. So it's important to the sport because that's the only way we're going to grow. It's got to come from within.
Yeah, totally agree. It's a good program.
Well, Neil, are we missing anything? Did we miss anything from the Nationals you wanted to talk about?
No, there'll be some improvements that we'll see at World English. We know that the museum is really moving along. I saw a couple of pictures a week ago. The footings are in, or the foundations are in. I think that's a worthwhile course, so that we will have, when I say we, I mean the Sporting Clays side, the NSCA will have its own area for Hall of Fame people and for knickknacks and antiquities that that have been donated to the museum. I think it's great.
Yeah, no, I think that's really cool. It's something that we've kind of needed for a while. Sporting Clays broke off on its own, and mid to late 80s, and we've kind of been blended in with everything else. So it's kind of cool that we have that at the museum now,
right?
Or will have that, I should say.
Yeah. So. Now, are you two coming to World English? Are you got your entries in for World English, or are you not going to do this one?
I can't make this one. I personally cannot. Sean, I know is probably, if I had to bet, is not going.
Oh,
Nope, I can't make it next year. I'm sorry.
something I should mention about World English, and it may be out on Score Chaser now. We've opened up the main event for 2 more days.
Oh, really?
We had 200 people on the waiting list. So we decided to open it on Wednesday and Thursday. They're going to be a little bit of an oddball because it's 3 courses. So they will shoot 2 courses one day and 1 the next. And the opposite will happen for more people. They'll shoot 1 course the first day on the Wednesday and 2 courses the next day.
That's very cool. I mean, if something changes, I'm going to be there. But as of right this very minute of recording, no, I can't make it.
Right.
It's one of those things. You want to go to all the big shoots. You want to go to all the local shoots, all the state shoots. And next thing you know, your wife's looking at you going, are you ever going to come home? But I mean, I'm sure I'm speaking rhetorically to, 90% of the people listening to this. So, but Neil, we greatly appreciate you coming on. We love having you. It's always a hoot every time you come on, and you always bring a lot of cool information with you. So greatly appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys having me, and anything. I love helping people, help, promote the sport in my own way. Love it. Love what we're doing. Let's grow the sport, and it's growing. I see it everywhere. I just finished putting in a new course for Parks and Wildlife, not Parks and Wildlife, Fish and Game in South Dakota. Put them a 15-station course in their places at Rapid City. Fun place, primarily rifle and pistol, and they spend a lot of money doing it, but it's a state-owned place. Rapid City is sort of, how can I put it, in the middle of nowhere? But I put a 15-station sporting clays course in. They've got 2 bunkers, 3 skeet fields, 5 stand, and Halise when they get that going. So,
oh wow!
So that'll be a fun place, and I think that they want to grow that. They may be looking to put a state shoot on for South Dakota or something like that. They've a little bit limited on room because they used most of the room for the rifle and pistol bays. But I think they could do a really good state shoot.
Very cool. Well, we've seen state shoots even in Ohio where we've had traps sitting on top of, barrier walls on the rifle range, So it just depends on your creativity. You can make it happen.
Yeah.
But
Good.
That's very cool. Well, Neil, thank you again, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Neil, love having you on the show every time. It's always great to have you on here, and you've kind of become the voice, coming out of the NSCA. So it's nice to hear that, and I know a lot of people look forward to having you on the show.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you on the next one.
The Dead Pair.
All right, Sean, let's just hit the nail on the head right now.
Okay.
Me, you, and Neil talked off air, and we've came up with a solution for the contest for the junior entry to $500 credit for a junior entry for the World English. So we talked about this. You need to send us an email. Real easy to find us. If you can't email us, you can contact us on either Facebook or Instagram through Messenger, however you want to get a hold of us. We need a message. I need the first and last name of the junior, and in 2 sentences, why your junior shooter should be chosen. Okay?
Yep.
Now, this can come straight from the junior shooter, or it can come from the parent, either one. Just need to know why. 2 sentences. Okay? We are going to share all of these emails with Neil, and he is going to put those into a hat and draw the winner so it's fair. But send us an email, first and last name of the shooter, and a 2-sentence explanation as to why this shooter should be chosen.
Yep. Short, sweet, simple to remember. Easy to remember.
Short and sweet and simple.
Yep.
So, Sean, buddy, man, I know you're going to be hit and miss next year. I'm bummed about that, but I understand. You and I are friends. We talk all the time, almost every other day, it seems like. And I get your struggles, man. I get why you're doing what you're doing, but just know that we're here for you. As soon as you get some time, we want you to come back.
Oh, absolutely. I'll be in and out, and I just really can't plan accordingly right now with everything that's going on. And as you know, we talked about it on our previous episode about all the reasons why. I'm not going to go into that now, but
Yeah.
life happens and things change, and unfortunately, I just got to refocus and do some other stuff. And it's not the end of anything, but it's just going to be a little bit less of me around here. And I know that plenty of great people, co-hosts and stuff, are going to step in and do a good job in my absence when necessary. And looking forward to that. Maybe change things up a little bit. You never know.
Yeah. Well, you're not going anywhere. You're just not going to be always here.
as prevalent. Correct.
So, but you know what though, our message stays the same. And I know Sean says it every week, and I'll just say it now: is take someone who's shooting, take them to a tournament. And again, if you're one of these people that really loves doing this, look for the NSSF +1 program. There's a link on our website. Go to thedeadpair.com, click on the big +1 banner. They got incentives there for you. They got all kinds of things to help you out as a mentor. So really cool. Sean and I have been preaching it for 6 years now, and now we have a way to incentivize you, right, Sean?
That's right. I mean, the whole point of it is, if you didn't get a chance to get somebody out there this year, 2026 is right around the corner. So make a resolution to do that. Make sure you get somebody out on the course, because again, it ain't going to grow itself, people. It's got to be an effort from all of us, and putting your best foot forward to get somebody out there to introduce them to the game that may not have known about it if you hadn't helped them to it. Yep,
absolutely. Plenty of exciting stuff coming for 2026. We got 2 dead pair blasts, one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast. I'm going to be doing some product reviews, all that kind of thing. Might have some new sponsors joining us. Really excited about that. But for 2025, got a lot of people we got to thank, Sean.
Oh my goodness. Where do you even start? Well, I got a good idea where we start.
Okay.
I would like to thank your wife for all the crap she puts up with us and all the messes we give her.
You stuttered. You're going to say with you.
No, with us. And all of the miracles that she seems to be able to pull out of the rabbit's hat. It's just, she does a great job. And I mean, if everybody likes listening to the podcast, and you wouldn't believe how many hiccups, coughs, swear words, tangled speech. I mean, the list goes on, and she cleans all that up and makes it sound like it's just perfect. Yeah. And can't thank Jules enough for everything that she does for us.
I thank her every day, but I'm doing it publicly right here and now, babe. Thank you so much. Love you. Couldn't do this without you. We really do appreciate you. Speaking of people we couldn't do it without and people we appreciate, I know we're coming on to the Christmas season, and we've got a whole host of sponsors that if you're a really, really good gift giver, you can make some people really happy. The shooter on your list, starting with Kolar. Now, Sean, I don't know about you, but if my spouse buys me a Kolar for Christmas, that's like, automatically world's greatest spouse ever, right?
Right. Yeah.
So,
and then some.
And then some.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with a new Kolar. I think there's not a shooter out there that wouldn't be happy to find a Kolar in the Christmas stocking Christmas morning.
Christmas stocking. That better be a big stocking.
Big stocking. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And you know what? If you can't afford a new gun, buy him some flats at Fiocchi. Fiocchi USA. I mean, we are fueled by Fiocchi here on the Dead Pair podcast. We love our little rhinos and our white rhinos. But hey, the shooting dynamics, if you're a guy that likes to practice and train a lot, there's nothing wrong with that shell.
Yeah. No, I keep saying it all the time. It's probably one of the best values for the money. Those shooting dynamics are fantastic.
And then Ranger Performance Eyewear. Now, already you're going to get 10% off your order by using the code DEADPAIR10 at checkout, but they're also having a holiday sale, which, by the way, Sean, I just got an email the other day from somebody. The Black Friday sale that they had, which is now ended, but now they're coming into their holiday sale. It should be up by the time you guys are hearing this. Had a gentleman that went on there on their Black Friday sale, and then he added Dead Pair 10 at checkout and got an additional 10% off. So, all kinds of ways to save. If you've been itching for a pair of Ranger Reacts or maybe, the 3-lens set, this is your chance, man. Get over there to reranger.com. Check them out. You listen to Sean and I every week brag about them. See for yourself why. Literally.
That's right.
Pun intended. See for yourself.
And if you're thinking about brushing up on your shooting next year, there's a good idea to maybe pay a visit to the guys at Atlas Traps, because I'll tell you what, right now, getting a trap or two and setting it up in your backyard, or maybe a 5 stand, call my man Jason Rambo over there. He will hook you up. And we all know Atlas Traps are built right here in the United States, and they're built well. The best traps out there, no doubt. And you can't go wrong with an Atlas Trap.
Absolutely. Rhino chokes, the new Alien series. If you like unported extended chokes, the new Alien series is the way to go. If you like the ported chokes, go with the Elites that Sean and I use. Which, by the way, Sean, something very interesting, and this is just a personal thing, but I've noticed that the faster the shell, my gun, just, again, personal thing, my gun, I've noticed that it strips the wad a little quicker on a faster shell with the Elites. Seem to work just a little tick better than what the Aliens do. If you shoot a slower shell, the Aliens work better. So, very interesting. And I had a conversation with Scott Dixon over at Rhino about that, and he's kind of been noticing the same thing through some testing. So we're going to have him on here after the first of the year, talk about that, talk about the wad stripping and the hot cores and everything. And very interesting, the difference between the Alien and the Elite series.
Right. And of course, to protect all that stuff that you have when you are going out traveling to tournaments, gun and trophy insurance, that's the place to go. These guys are great. Jason and I couldn't be happier with them. I mean, if you're going to protect your gun, give these guys a call. They are great to deal with. And I'll tell you right now, if anything ever bad happens, you're going to kick yourself for not having coverage on that gun. Period.
Sean, friend of ours, Sean, just got a phone call the other day, had a gun that was lost in transit.
Ooh.
And he waited and he waited and he waited and got the police report and everything, got it finalized, called up the folks at Gun and Trophy, and he had the money in his account within 24 hours.
Wow.
Within 24 hours. He had not a check in the mail, not 6 weeks down the road, 24 hours from the claim, he had the money in his account.
Direct deposit in his account. Wow.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
That's service for you right there, man. That tells you all you need to know.
Speaking of service, we just had Neil Chadwick on. Long-range wireless release systems. You know, Sean, I've got a lot of customers. They all use long range, and had a guy that dropped a remote in the bucket of water on accident, and he sent it back to long range, and he got it back lickety split. They took care of him. This is the kind of service we're talking about. This is why we love our sponsors, because the people behind the products.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now listen, the next one here, regardless if it's a shooter on your list or not, if they enjoy a fine adult beverage, you cannot go wrong with Taconic Distilleries.
No, and they've got a flavor for everybody. They make a bourbon, they make a vodka, they make a gin, they make rum, they make the coffee, the creamer that goes in your coffee. I love that bourbon creamer. That stuff is great, especially this time of year around the holidays. You're sitting around the fire or whatever. That goes great with a cup of coffee, I can tell you right now.
And if you're like Sean and I, and you religiously have to watch Christmas Vacation at least 3 times a year,
or more,
you're going to cuddle up to the fire with some of that bourbon cream and a coffee. And I'm going to tell you what, it's going to be even funnier than you remembered the last time.
Yep. You know, also goes a couple ginger snaps with that. Also works pretty well if you like ginger snaps.
Oh boy. They also have the code DEADPAIR10 at checkout. All one word, no spaces, DEADPAIR, the number 10 at checkout.
Yep.
Of course, Score Chaser, we just had Casey Chase on, talking about some of that new technology that they have. Really exciting stuff, even more stuff coming from them. So if you register for a tournament, you know it's through Score Chaser, and we cannot thank Casey and all her staff enough. They've been great working with us, and we're going to keep doing the tourney talk, keep bringing you those tournaments. As soon as they open up, we're going to announce them here on the Dead Pair podcast.
Yep. And don't forget about Clay Range Design Works. I know I give Jason a lot of razz, but he does a good job, actually a great job of servicing people. Number one, he's got his trap towers. Those things are amazing. If you were down at the Nationals, they got a lot of attention. Those are out there ready to produce, ready to ship to you. Whether you're a club or a person that needs a tower, that's the way to go. Pretty slick design. He also sells Atlas traps, does course design, all kinds of stuff. Jason knows his stuff. Just give him a call. He'll hook you up. Trust me.
Sean, I'm glad this is recorded, because that's the nicest thing you've ever said about me. Well,
it is recorded, so just put it in posterity and keep it on the shelf.
listen, if you get a bunch of shooting toys for Christmas, post the pics of them up on our Dead Pair public group page. We'd love to see it.
Heck yeah.
Especially if it's from our sponsors, tag them in the post. We'd love to see it. And of course, if you take someone new shooting, post those pictures as well. We'd love to see those as well. Can't thank you all enough. I want to wish every one of you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We'll be back after the first of the year. Probably won't be back with Sean the first episode, but you're coming back shortly after, right, Sean?
Yeah, I'll be in and out. Just depends on how my schedule plays out. I don't know as of yet how it's going to go, but going to be pretty busy at the start of the year.
Yeah, well, hey, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you too, you big ogre.
All right, right back at you, Shorty.
Sean, this has been awesome. It's been a little bit of a long episode. Thank you to Neil Chadwick for coming on and joining us. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Thank you to all of our listeners. We appreciate you all very, very much. We wish you the best for 2026. And until then, Sean Alley.
Can't wait to see you all back here on the Dead Pair Podcast.
We'll see you next time on the Dead Pair Podcast.
The Dead Pair Podcast is brought to you by Kolar Arms, the mark of performance, and is fueled by Fiocchi USA. The Dead Pair theme song was written, arranged, and produced by Toby Tomplay. Special thanks to the following sponsors: Atlas Traps, Ranger Performance Eyewear, Rhino Chokes, Long Range LLC, Gun and Trophy Insurance, Taconic Distillery, Score Chaser, and Clay Range Design Works.